Welcome to selfdiscoveryradio.com, where the orchard of wisdom is just ready for picking. We celebrate your why, the journey that you've taken that inspires someone else. We support your services, we support your story. Come and be our guest, become a host, be an author with us. Come and see what we've got. Our next show is... Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, everybody. Welcome back to another edition of Building Your Business. I'm Sara Troy, your host, and my guest today is Brenda de Winter, lovely lady who's doing wonderful things for her clients, and we have decided to kind of do a little joint venture together. And this is what we're going to be talking about today, is how to actually increase your business. And there's a new paradigm out there. We see people placing ads and doing this and doing that, but really what people want to do is hear your story. Why should I do business with you? Why should I be your client? And we want to know those whys and those stories, and that is something that has been incorporated more and more in today's world. So what Brenda does is she brings you quality leads, clients, and sales. Everybody's busy. You can't be a master of all trades. Concentrate on what you do well in your business, but you don't have to go and do it all and wear all the hats. That's where Brenda takes it on. She's got several hats she can put on for you, and they're all multicolored and very, very, very flashy, and they will deliver what you need so that you don't have to be a jack of all trades, and you can concentrate on what you do well. And in incorporation of this is that we're adding a show to the package as well, so that you can tell your story and invite people to hear what it is you really do and your why that you do it, because your why is very, very important. So today, let us find out Brenda's why McKenna Agencies, why she's taken this path, why does she love what she does so much, and what is it that she does for her clientele. And so we're going to dive right in. Hello, Brenda.
Hello, Sarah. Thank you for having me on.
Oh, my pleasure. And glasses come off now, folks, so you don't have to see the world reflected in that. But other than that, I'm blind if I don't see anything there. We all try, especially as an entrepreneur or small business, to wear as many hats as possible. Then we get stretched out too thin, and then it becomes something exasperating, or we drop the ball on something because we're trying to wear too many hats. In business, we really have to learn where to delegate and who to hand over certain things to in order to be able to get to present a full package to our clientele. Now, this is something you've been doing for a long time. And
yes, I
so
have.
take us into the journey of why this is your chosen path.
Okay, well, it's been a long journey for me. I've been doing the sales activity for a variety of things in Victoria for about 30 years now. And as I look at the whole jack of all trades, I was there. I was running my own company and doing everything and just completely running out of time and energy and the capacity to do it and continue to move my business forward. So as things changed for me and I took a step back, I looked at what it is that I do well and what it is that I want to do. And so that meant staying in the sales field, but I like to help other people become successful. So my goal is to go out there and be your feet on the street or your sales team and do the necessary things to bring your company what it needs, which is clients or leads or sales. And so it's a direct funnel to right back to your company. And you can stay doing what you need to do, which is keeping your eye on the business side of the company, and let my company go out there and find things to help you grow in terms of sales.
The thing about sales, the techniques of sales, how we do it, how we present ourselves is constantly changing. And if you had to try and keep up with what is the latest trend, what is the latest approach, it becomes, again, too exasperating, just too much. And this is your world. So you're always keeping up with, the requirements, how to approach things in a different way. But no matter what the latest trend is, what we're always looking for from people that we want to do business with is that their personal authenticity. Are they the genuine article? It's not all about the sale. It's about, do I even want to do business with you? So that presentation of that client, of who they are, what they stand for, long before what they have to offer you is very important, isn't it?
Very much so, absolutely. And not everyone can work together, and
Mm-hmm.
not everyone is a salesperson. So
Mm-hmm.
you may be running your small business and thinking, I know how to run this restaurant or agency of some sort, and yes, you do. But the sales side of things is not for everybody. It's difficult to go out and talk to people that you don't know and find out what they do, see if they can help you with your business. It's difficult to knock on doors and continue to get answers that you maybe not want to hear about either whether your business
Oops, a little loop here.
way. The way that the sales is going now is we're seeing a lot of networking. Always been a lot of networking, but a lot of social network groups are in Victoria. And it's a great opportunity for me to go to these multiple events and speak on your behalf, meet people on your behalf, and then find out, how I can put people together, how I can make you successful, how I can include you into social networking groups. And so it is very important to like that person, understand their business, and work well together. Otherwise, it's a bit like mixing oil and water.
Yeah. And, again, not everybody is comfortable with getting out there, networking and talking to people.
Right.
Give them somebody one-on-one in their business, and, the captured audience, and they really can share their passion. But all of a sudden they're in a room with a whole load of people, and it's like, not sure what to do.
Absolutely.
And so, why put yourself through that when there's somebody else that can do it all for you? And then any form of rejection is not something you're going to take personally, because you don't even know about it. All you're going to do is bring them the people that are really interested.
That's very true. That's very true. And I don't mind meeting and talking to people. And I think the way that this is set up is I have an interest in your business, and if I talk to 5 people at a mixer and one of them is interested, then I've done well for your company.
Mm-hmm.
And the other 4 may belong to another company that I'm working with that I can provide some service with. So anyone I talk to, I am looking to put into my network, into the agency, to find whatever company to match them up with somebody else.
And of course, it's a database, isn't it? It's seeding. You go to this one network and that network, and it's not the right arena, but you're planting seeds.
Mm-hmm.
And you are the face of all of your companies that you represent. So
Right.
by people seeing the diversity and who you represent, they may only be interested in this person, this time, but later on, oh, she's got somebody else in that database, I'm going to go back to her. So you're the one-stop shopping, so to speak.
Yes, I'm trying to come across that way. And again, at the networking events, I see the same people numerous times because they're out doing what they need to do. And then you see new people, and it gives you an opportunity to see a variety of new companies in Victoria or old companies in Victoria that are just looking for the connection.
We've seen so many people in the past where they had to be everything, and we know that it put too much strain on them. And again, we've all got our forte. We all are good at certain something, but it doesn't mean we have to be good at everything. At the same time, though, you do have to be aware of other things. I may not be good in that department, but I at least need to know how that department is working. So when you're working with your clientele, you spend time with them, getting to know who they are, what their strengths are, where they need the help, but also who would suit them. Because as you said, it's not a one size fits all.
Right.
You've got to have people where you can see there's a synergy.
Right. You're absolutely right. And I do some research on the company before we get going, and I sit down with the company and whoever that might be, whether it's the owner or representative of the company, and I find out about the company, what the strengths are, what the weaknesses are, where they see themselves in the market, who their competition is, and what they're looking for,
Mm-hmm.
and how they're looking to grow. And so those are the key things that I go out and I focus on. And if somebody's looking to grow in social media, then I'm going to focus on that. If someone's looking at doing more FaceTime with people, then I'm looking at that. So everyone does have a different need. Every company is very different. And you just simply don't know who's out there unless you go out there and just talk to people. And that's what I find is the biggest thing is we are doing a lot of social media, but the face time, the face meetings, the one-on-one communication is still very important. And people simply are finding no time to do that. And yet it's it is one of the better ways to do networking and to develop your company and to develop your business.
Right. And of course, this is how we met, at a networking event, and then let's meet for coffee. And then from that,
Right.
Here's an opportunity. And
Right.
again, a lot of people don't have that time in order to be able to take that time to do that. So by doing that for them, it's you're doing the research, but you're finding the people with that synergy, and that hour conversation over coffee, you have no idea where it's going to go, all right? Because when we sat down, we didn't know it was going in this direction, but here we are.
That's right.
And I think that's because of what you do, and it is ultimately about bringing sales to people,
Right.
but it also looking at in the ways that you can do it, in the way that things have changed in the way that we promote businesses today and profile businesses. It has become less to do with promotion and more profiling, hasn't it? Because people want to know, who are you? What do you represent? Joe down the road does the same thing, but why should I go to you? And they want to have that personal story of who that person is, because then there's a connection made. There's also a certain bridge of trust made, because you feel you can relate to that person.
Right. Trust is a big thing. The social media industry has shown that there is lack of trust.
Yes.
And it can be very impersonal. And so, for companies or marketers that are sending email to a variety of different social media sites, and people are getting inundated with, come buy this and 25% off that, that only works, as part of it. It can't be the only way that people actually do their marketing. And the trust comes from meeting somebody and knowing that there is a person behind the information, a person behind the communication, and then they feel comfortable kind of giving their company details out and having that person actually represent them, because I do take responsibility for making sure that I have enough knowledge and I present
the little loop again.
That I'm working for your company and sending clients to them.
Yes. Sales is something I think very tricky with people, because some people are natural born salespeople. I can sell anybody else. I'm a very good advocate on that. When it comes to selling yourself, though, a lot of people feel really uncomfortable with it. And it's like, well, I've got this, and they feel either they're bragging or they don't know what to say. And so having somebody already bridge that gap, somebody already bought to your door. They've already bought what you've got. They've already bought who you are. Now it's just a question of how you can serve them.
Right.
It really kind of knocks down that whole barrier that's there when people feel, I'm just not comfortable, in doing that, because it's not everybody's strength, is it?
It's not, no, and a lot of people are uncomfortable talking about themselves and perhaps talking about their strengths and or their weaknesses. And so you find a lot of times when you ask someone, well, what is your bio? Provide me with a brief bio about yourself. It's a stumbling block for a lot of people because they just can't, they can't write how successful they are, or what their accomplishments are, and they feel like they're outing themselves in a way that might not come across well. That's really not the case. I mean, people are looking to find others who are successful and who have accomplished different things, and it's really important that you do your bio in a really open-minded way, and just think of it as writing. Having your friend write it for you and what they would say about you. And those are the things that you want to see. And not everyone is comfortable, as you say, discussing that. And so, if I can be the mediator between that and say, yes, Sara, she is fantastic at doing what she's doing. I've worked with her. It allows you to get your story out without you having to be the one saying it.
Right, yes. And of course, in this way, you're bringing clients who are going to share that story. Because again, we want to know the why. There are some people that are just in business for the bottom dollar and they don't care how they get it. And we want to do business with people that we know that this is something that there's a passion, it's a mission, it's something they're invested in, because then whatever they're going to do for you, they're going to do it in the best quality and with real full intent. And so what we're actually seeing now in the sales world is not the buy low, oh, sell high, rah, rah. Nobody's interested in that. As you said, we're saturated. That we
Yeah.
actually have a show on social media today, the do's and don'ts, because people are just so tired of being yelled at. How about the interaction? How about the invitation? So by your clientele coming on and sharing their story and their why, it now becomes something where people can go, who is this person? Now I know more about them. In that inspiration is that invitation to do business with them. So we have to look at the new ways of doing things, and you may not be comfortable with it, but it's step out of that and understand that with social media, with sales, the way they've escalated over every year, it changes. We have to go with the times if we want to stay current, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Being current is key. And I think that the human contact it will never go out of fashion, but it has gone out of some people's minds. And, getting back to that, I don't know how many times I use the phone as opposed to using text or email. And getting back to using the phone is something that bridges back that level of trust and communication, and the opportunity to work with people that you know and trust, and that will help develop your brand as well as somebody else's brand. And we get caught in that the media blitz of sales, and I mean not like sales activity, but a sale on something. As opposed to building a relationship. People like to buy from people that they like, and all of those adages hold true for sales. And so we're I don't think that we're ever going to get away from the human contact. I think that we are trying hard to, but I don't believe that it's the way to go in terms of bringing business to a client.
It's also not how we're designed as human beings. We like human contact, and if you have a business, you're depending on it, and we also, you use the word relationship, and we have to look at our relationship with our clientele. Because that relationship is based on trust. Can you deliver? Are you authentic? And that's only going to come about, as you said, through interaction. So you may not always have the time to meet face to face, though there must always be a first one at least. But this, texting or just emailing is impersonal. That could be with information and data you need them to have. But as you say, pick up the phone and talk. Right there, oh yeah, by the way, this just came into my mind. You can't do that on a text. You're not going to go, oh, by the way, and especially if you're older and the thumbs are in the way and you're misspelling everything, right? So much quicker and easier and more inviting to actually verbally talk to each other.
No, I agree. And my girls, they're younger, and that's how they communicate.
Sorry, folks, having a little loop problem here today.
Or what you're doing, and that seems that an extra level removed when you're not even speaking in terms of communicating words on text or typing. You're just simply sending a picture of somebody maybe who has a happy face on or a sad face on, and you to read into knowing how they're feeling or what they're doing. That's another level again of it just feels so far removed from being able to find warm-blooded people to have a communication with, develop a relationship, and your community. The people that you contact and that you deal with are part of your community. And all of those people, we network together and we find the things that we need, whether it's an opportunity for business, whether it's an opportunity to buy something or have a service, or, go belong to a group or send someone in a direction that they need. None of that happens through the social media environments in a warm way.
And again, even if you do meet people through social media, the big word interaction. What we're noticing again, even on the social media, is again, don't just blah blah blah. Ask a question, invite interaction. You can then introduce your solution, your product, your service, but it's not be upfront with it. It's the invitation to come and interact. And I think we, in a lot of ways, we've kind of lost that art of interaction, haven't we? Because, you
Yeah.
know, and also networking has changed a lot. It used to be just like, what you do, change cards, what you do, change cards, you know,
Yeah.
but now it's going back to, no, man, chill, let's have a chat, you know,
Yeah.
let's get to know each other, because fundamentally that's really what it's all about.
It is. And when you know more about somebody and you dig deep, then you find more opportunities. Going
Yes.
to some of these networking events, you know, there could be 50 to 100 people at them, and there's not a chance that you're going to get to speak to everybody. And so for me, when I go and I'm representing McCanna, but McCanna Agencies has, you know, however many different companies that we represent, I'm going there and I'm talking to individuals for a length of time and in my mind, I'm thinking, okay, I know that this is going to work for this client and this is opportunity is going to work for that client. And so when I take their card, I may have 5 cards from the session as opposed to 30 cards, but the 5 I know are going to connect to a specific purpose in the agency that I can actually give to one of my clients and say, here you go, here is a direct sale or a lead or a client that is in your wheelhouse, and I'm going to introduce you, and then you guys take it from there and get the business done.
Right. And you know, that is a lot of what the problem is, isn't it? Is that once you introduce the people, it's their ball game now. But
Yeah.
for so many people, they don't know how to find those people. Not
Yeah.
only they don't have the time, they don't have the comfortability, or they don't know where to go. And or they, you know, they could literally be, you know, fish out of water in some of these places. And so for you just saying the introduction is already there. I do this with emails. Oh, this, you
Yeah.
need to meet this person, do the
Yeah.
introduction. It's up to you now what you do with it. But
That's right.
because you know your client, you've spoken to this person, you see there's a connection there. All right. And now
Right.
it's up to them where they take it. But it's that is an art in itself of
Yeah.
understanding where that connection is. They
Right.
may be in a totally different field, but you know that they could be of service. And
Right.
that's the point, isn't it? Is by just speaking maybe to 5 people, you're going to get to know them more. You get to know who they're going to serve. And
Yes.
so many people, it's just about, I need to meet as many people and get the cards out. Well, who's going to remember you? Because you were
Right.
just like flash around, and
Yeah.
no one's going to remember you. They're
Yeah.
going to remember a conversation with you, right? So
That's
take
so
your
true,
time.
Sarah. No, that is so true. And, you know, they may get several cards from people that do the same thing. And so, you know, how are you memorable? And you know, why would they call you versus someone else when they've got a number of follow-up calls to make? So it is key, and it's that gap. I call it the gap between small business owners that are running their business and getting really focused on doing that well, versus trying to find time to grow their business themselves without a sales team, without any kind of support. And perhaps they're doing it on social media, perhaps they're doing it with another social media agency, which is all fine, and they can do it that way by all means. But the gap between that human contact of running their business and actually meeting people that are going to buy from them has disappeared. And I want to stay in that gap, and I put the people together like we just said, and then I do want to step away, because it's not my strength to know everything about every
Yes.
business and know the pricing and
Right.
the concept and the timing and all of those finite details in a contract that the two individuals, once they're together, can discuss themselves. So I don't want to take any risk of injecting myself into that, so
Right.
that there's an opportunity for me to lose a sale by saying something that isn't accurate.
Right. You're
To
a
the business.
connector.
Yes, I am a connector, and I'm delighted to be just that. I want people, it makes me happy when I can give someone a client and they get a sale, and their business grows from that.
Yeah.
That's the thrill I get out of it.
Yeah, exactly. And we all need those connectors.
Yeah.
I'm thinking of the Oreo cookie or the cream in the middle.
Yeah. Okay. That works.
And but as you said, the satisfaction of seeing two individuals,
Yeah.
who had no idea who they were, and then when they come together and there is that connection, and you
Yes.
see something being developed from that, it's very, very satisfying, isn't it?
Yeah, it is very satisfying. And the other thing I'm really learning and enjoying going through these social networking events is the amount of small businesses there are in Victoria that I never knew of, that are
Yes.
doing something, that are in a market that I would not have spent much time in, because for whatever reason. But now that I'm learning different markets, it gives me an opportunity to learn that there's way more available in Victoria than I had even realized. And I like to be part of getting that information out and letting other people know of these services or small business companies that that are not the big box stores, and that
Yeah.
they don't survive on that. So it's really cool how many companies that I knew nothing about that I knew a lot about now, and I can actually either use their services myself or provide them with other
Mm-hmm.
people.
The thing about Victoria and being a new person here is that, I'm blown away at how friendly people are, how people come together, how fast I have met people here where it is, you've got to meet this person, you've got to go here, you've got to go there, where,
Right.
coming from the bigger cities, there's all these pockets of niches and nobody seems to want to connect. And as a connector myself, but who cares if they're over there? There's a synergy here. Why can't you reach out? And
Yeah.
Victoria doesn't seem to be that. It's like everybody wants to have that lovely spider's web and build it all together, which is great.
Yeah.
Very friendly place, which is a wonderful thing to have. And I think this is something, it doesn't matter where you are. We're talking Victoria and your services being here, but wherever you are in the world, building that community, or having a community where everybody supports one another is very, very important. We've gone beyond this thing about everything being competitive. You're in competition with me. Well, why can't you be in collaboration? Because there's guaranteed something in your business that you don't offer that maybe I do. So,
Sure.
for when you say to a client, I can't help you there, however, I have somebody else who can do it. It's not about, oh, they're stealing my business. Collaboration, referral, testimonies. This is what builds your business. So don't be afraid, right, to mix with people, even if you're in the same line of work.
Yeah, you're right, and it's very short-sighted if you don't take the opportunity to pass someone that you cannot help on to someone that can help them.
Yeah.
Because that person is going to go, like, I couldn't work with this person, but they did give me a great referral, so I'm going to go back to them because they certainly helped me. They couldn't provide what I needed, but they gave me someone who could, and that is a valuable resource. There's a lot of newcomers coming to Victoria and they don't know where to go. And it's a whole market of, how do we set these people up? How do we, communicate with them? How do we provide services for them when this stuff is not sort of readily available to them? How do they find it? Where do they go? And so us being able to do that, and I mean us in terms of the Victoria people, being able to help each other allows our community to grow. And it allows Victoria to be a prosperous economy because we're like-minded, we're sharing, we're helping each other, we're not being fearful of, well, I'm not going to tell that client go to my competition because I'll never see them again. That is what will happen if you don't do that.
Right. Yeah, it's community-based. And, if we really are looking at survival of business, it is about community-based, the village mentality of everybody helping one another, which is really important. Now, today what we talk about in any form of sales or relationship or anything else is what is your why? And, understanding somebody's why. For you, you've been doing this for 30 years. You love connecting people. You get a kick out of when something comes out of it. It's your driving force. Has this always been your why?
It has been. As I've been in sales in a number of different sales opportunities, I've always wondered, how can I give back? What is it that I can do now that I can give back to my family or the community? And the reason I'm doing it is so that I have the ability to do that, to support others, to allow others to come into an opportunity. And it's taken me a while to get to the place where I've been able to sort of peel back what doesn't really fit with me to stick to what does fit so that I can really focus on the why, and the why of making other people successful, helping other people with their business, helping the community develop in whichever direction or market or area that needs to happen. And that has always been on the top of my mind.
I think what we're looking at today too in a great deal is that in the past, it would be if you had any redirection in life, or something that came to an abrupt end and you had to start all over again, you considered a failure. And now actually what we're considering that is an asset because, you know, out of the ashes come. And
Yeah.
that sometimes those ashes are there to bring a stop to something that's no longer serving you. And sometimes people can get a tap on the shoulder and do that redirect nicely, and sometimes people get the cosmic 2x4. And I think we've all had a cosmic 2x4 somewhere along the line, and you've certainly
Yeah.
had yours. And, you know, there is always that time of recovery when you have to set back. There's also the why me? And then, you know, where is this taking me now? So
Right.
even if businesses, you know, have those tough times or have had to redirect, it's okay, isn't it? It's like, lick your wounds, give yourself some love and comfort, take that time to regroup, but don't look upon it as the be all and the end all. It's
Yeah.
just an opportunity for something new.
It is. It's a redirection, as you say. It's a great word, redirecting you into something else that is going to serve you better in whatever way that might be. It might be financially. It might not be. It might be more spiritually. It might be more connecting with your community. We get the lessons that we get for a reason, and it's up to us to listen to them, learn from them, and move on to something else. And I don't think that successful people have ever woken up and started their life and not had any sort of setbacks where they can look back and say, boy, you know, that direction maybe was not so great. I should have, you know, gone on this direction. There's no straight path. It
No.
is a zigzag. And it's a journey more than it is a path, right? It's an opportunity to go along and find your way and find ways that weren't your way, which means, you know, you can go down another path. And you know, that has happened to me. I've certainly had a lot of opportunity to learn a lot, and lots of things have become obvious as to what I would like to do and what I would prefer not to do. And when you're very clear, and you become very clear on what it is that you want, you become very powerful in it.
Yes.
And I'm happy to have discovered the direction that can allow the strength that I have to be focused on that specific thing.
I think this is where a lot of businesses do falter. I mean, you know, in your own personal life, and you have to realize that your personal life and your business life are very much entwined. You know, you are your business, and your business is very much you, even though we do ask for balance, you know, close the door, family time, other time, you know, that the blood runs through both veins, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And if something isn't working for you, is not to be afraid to redirect. You know, it's like this is an end of this chapter. It served me there, but it's no longer serving, and I have to be willing to change direction. I have to be willing to try something new. And this is why having somebody like yourself who is always staying with the current times helps, because what you're doing is for people that go, I don't know, it's not working anymore, what should I do now? Well, you can help them with either connecting them to people that can take them to that next chapter, or through your own wisdom and your own journey, help them figure it out of what is the next step to take.
Right. I hope that's the case. I do. Change is hard for everybody,
yes.
You know, or most people find change very difficult. And there's a lot in letting go of something that you've worked your entire life for, or you've worked a period of time for, or you've invested in something. It's hard to let go. And you know, you question yourself, is this right? Is it wrong? You know, should I stay? Should I go? Should I more? Should I less? And sometimes that answer is not clear. However, you have to move in some direction, because staying still is not the answer, right? Because if you stay still, then you're not committing. You're not allowing yourself to grow. You're just allowing yourself to remain neutral, which you know, doesn't help your business or yourself in your own life. And so being able to say, okay, I'm going to move in a direction, whether it's the right direction or not, I can't see right now, perhaps. And you can go a few steps, and if it's not, then you easily come back and you go, you know, a few steps in the other direction. Just keep moving forward. That's very key in business.
Learn a new dance. You know, it's you know, a little step to the left and a little step to the right and a little cha-cha-cha in the middle. And, you know, at first it feels difficult and you trip over each other. And the next thing you know, you've got into the rhythm and the rhyme, right? So it's everything is hard initially because you don't know it. But the more you do it, the more you know it, and the more you realize how far this dance can go, you know. So that willingness, and you know, you use the word allow. I use it a lot because, you know, surrender to allowing, surrender to receiving. And
Yeah.
sometimes just literally coming to a standstill and saying, this isn't working anymore. I'm just going to take a deep breath. I'm going to take a step back
Yeah.
and just allow something to come to me that's going to help me move forward rather than
Right.
fanatically moving forward, chasing your tail.
Right.
It's, you know, we need those moments of just, okay, I surrender. What next?
Yes. And that's the entrepreneurial spirit. You know,
Mm-hmm.
it's not, entrepreneurs are moving forward all the time. They're willing to take the risk. They're willing to think that something else will happen if they move forward. And
Yeah,
that's true. Something else will happen. You know, that's a really creative way and a brave way to proceed through life.
right. Now, you know, people will say, okay, why are you introducing, you know, podcasting and video into your realm there? But what we're seeing in the world is that because people can share their story, because, you know, through a video, they can really express themselves and be, you know, be authentic, be invitational. This is the new way of being able to draw that clientele in. Well, who are you? What are you
Yeah.
about? Well,
Yeah.
listen to this, and now you're getting that taste of who I am. You know,
Yes.
you are going to resonate or not, you know, but you know, it's your calling card, it's your invitation. And
Right.
by you being willing to be kind of even vulnerable and in sharing your why and the journey and the passion as to why and what you're doing, not
Yeah.
just a sales pitch of I offer, but this has
Yeah.
been my journey to do what I love to do that serves you. It really is really kind of a new way of introducing people to their business.
Right. And I thank you for that. And I really appreciate the opportunity to have met you
Mhm.
and learned that this is a vehicle and a way to do that. And it's going to be a way for the clients of McCanna to do the same thing, to enjoy, to have, you know, the ability to work with each other and just have that level of confidence. I've not done this before in
Right.
terms of any kind of video chat or anything like that. So it was destined for me to meet you and to be able to go in this direction, which is a new direction for McCanna agencies. And I'm delighted to have had this opportunity and work with you on a regular basis.
And the thing is that, you know, when we met, obviously we didn't meet with this agenda. We had a
Yeah.
conversation, and from it came collaboration. And that's the thing
Right.
is that so many people are looking for something specific. But when you just
Yeah.
allow that conversation and that connection to happen, you know, unusual things will come about and go, oh, okay.
Mm.
And that's again back to that allowing, you know, get into the flow. From that, you'll see some sort of creative idea come forth. And of course, this is what we do here in Self Discovery Radio. We celebrate and support people that are out there that are making a difference in people's lives. So
Yeah.
it makes sense now to actually collaborate with people who are also doing that and
Sure.
put together a package that just
Yeah.
gives a whole package to whatever somebody's doing. So just
Yeah.
a good synergy, a good connection.
That is right. I'm working with Michael Loge from, he's a best-selling author with The Law of Attraction.
Hmm.
And that's exactly what we're talking about here is you can have an intention. You
Yes.
have to be able to and be willing to allow that opportunity to come into your world. And, you know, he's going to be doing a show with you
Hmm.
and sharing more about that. But, you know, I'm a big fan of allowing the environment, the energy, the world to seek you out and put you together.
Yeah, and again, you used another very important word, energy. You know, more and more we're beginning to understand the quantum energy, that we are energy, that we work on a particular frequency. You know, when we talk about being on the same wavelength with somebody, you know, being in
Yeah.
the same vibe, being on the same frequency, you know, that is all measured as energy. And so when we are
Correct.
actually in a particular energy, we're going to invite matched energy. And that's where creativity and opportunity happens. So it's really important that, you know, no matter what's going on in our business, is that we kind of try and keep our energy volume up. Because if
Yes.
we want to find resolve, we're going to find it in those people that are working on these higher frequencies. And so
Yes.
that kind of positive energy that we bring to things and put out to other people is what's going to invite those people that are going to be able to propel you forward.
Yes. Yes. And surrounding yourself in that environment is super positive. You know,
Hmm.
I come from some of these networking events where the people that go there are very up. And
Yes.
it's a nice, positive environment to be at. Everyone is smiling and enjoying themselves, and freely speaking about their businesses and themselves. And it's a delightful atmosphere.
And we met at Orbis, which one thing I really like about it is the fact that it is a small base community thing. They're not, about trying to be international, get you to sign up and then everything is going to cost. It really is, the fee to sign up is really, minimal when you look at the package, but it's also that opportunity to really know people in your community and how we can help one another. And it becomes the Rolodex, doesn't it? So, for you, you've got a Rolodex of people there.
Yeah.
You go to these meetings. You may not need anybody at that point, but then you get a client and you go, that meeting, I can introduce that person because that person can provide that. And that's what it's about, isn't it? Is that virtual mental Rolodex that and of course people don't know what's a Rolodex. Well, this is something that we used to keep people's information on, folks. I'm dating myself here. Database, I think, is the terminology nowadays.
Well, even the card file, where I'm going to put your card in my file. Well, it's on your phone. Everything's on your phone, right?
Yes,
Which
exactly.
Is
yeah.
And Orbis is a great group because, and a lot of the networking groups, they offer a charitable donation piece, right?
Yes.
Where we're giving back to some community service group that's in need, and that's a really great thing to be doing when you're out and you're involved in something. That a piece of it is going to a group that really needs a boost in some way.
And I think this is also very important for businesses, always to have an aspect of that somewhere where you're going to support your community. Your community is supporting your business.
Yeah.
So choose your platform. It could be just supporting, the soccer team or, the food bank or whatever the case is. Have something you stand for, because that is kind of your give back to your community that is supporting you.
Yeah, and it's like-minded. Some people like to deal with others who are doing that.
Yes.
And are looking for that kind of sustainability or charitable, something that resonates with them. So as a small business owner, you want to be open and aware of that kind of thing. And it doesn't take very much effort to belong or donate to something. But, Victoria is very much that way, a charitable community. And so I think that's a real big part of making that part of your small business.
And of course, that's where you can help them too. If they're saying, I really want to represent something, I'm not quite sure what, you can have that conversation with them. Where does it come from the heart? And you know exactly which organization to connect them with. So again, it's be willing to have the conversation. Even as a client, your client, they don't have to know exactly what they want, but the conversation with you, you will know exactly what they need.
Right. It's being brave to take the step forward to finding out what's out there. What else is out there? How else can I run my business? What other direction can I go in? And a lot of times small business companies find themselves feeling stuck because they're anxious about their cash flow and they need to get more sales, and they're just, they're fuming and they're spinning in a circle and they're on that hamster wheel. That's the opportunity to try and get out, try and contact McKenna agencies and allow us to come in and point you in different directions and meet different people. And you'll be surprised how quickly different opportunities will present themselves that you had no idea were even there.
We're going back to the energy thing again. When you're out there networking, you're representing that positive energy. When somebody's on that treadmill, their energy is very static, and they're not going to draw those people to them at that time because of the anxiety. So you're bridging that gap for them by going out there in the harmony, and then you're going to bring them that solution that's going to calm them down, which they're unable to do because treadmill. So the other benefits of calm and cool and collected, which we can't always be when we're running our own business. So it's a great service because we don't have the ability. I mean, we could be absolutely brilliant at sales in our product or in our own particular service, but we're not really great at sales in promoting ourselves or getting the clientele we need from the outside. So this is the thing is know your own forte, know your limits. This is not a failure. Because you're not a
Yeah.
jack of all trades, because you can't do absolutely everything, does not mean you're inadequate. It just means that you specialize in what you do, and
Yeah.
you do it very well, and you outsource the other
Yeah.
skills that you need so that you can concentrate on your own clientele.
That's exactly it. That's then in a nutshell what McKenna is doing. And we know that small business owners don't have the time, energy, resources. You imagine yourself being completely up to your alligators with things to do, running your business, and you see your sales and they're going up and down, and all of a sudden, you're on a good sales cycle because you've got a little bit of time, or a promotion has happened, and then it goes back down, and your cash that you made is all sucked up with some of the lower months. It's about maintaining a higher stream, and allowing and being surrounded with people that do things that you don't do well.
Yeah.
And McKenna is able to take and level off companies' cash flow and sales opportunities, sort of on a growth platform.
Right.
And I'm really excited with that.
And of course, the package that we're doing here in the collaboration is it's a threefold, because they get the media presence on McKenna. So people can go into the database and see all the people's interviews and everything that you're already representing. They obviously get here a platform under the McKenna agencies right here on Self-Discovery Radio. So the shows not only go on a genre of whatever the topic is, but they go into that platform as well, which is under the store in two places where people can find you. But they also take that information and put it up on their own site as an information. Right. So this isn't just a once forget about it. This now becomes something as a referral that is on 3 different sites at least.
Right. And it's fantastic, because if I'm meeting a new client and they say, well, tell me a little bit about you, I can say, go to Self-Discovery Radio and listen to my interview with Sara, and it gives you a good chance to really find out more than you would on a 30-second elevator speech.
Right, exactly. And also it's not only what you do, it's why you do it, and then the passion that you do it. And that is what we're looking for. Other people are doing what you're doing, but why are you different, and why should I go for you? And that connection and that relationship starts from somebody listening to your why, what you have to offer, and where it comes from. And as you said, you've been doing it for 30 years. The skills are there, the knowledge is there, but you had your redirect where you felt the way I'm doing it is no longer serving me. And in that redirection, I'm now doing something that I'm truly passionate about, that really is serving not only me, but my clientele.
Yes, absolutely. And I'm pretty thrilled to be on that path. It is a relatively new path. The 30 years in sales activity is not new, but I've done a lot of work on focusing on what it is that I do want to do, and so coming to this realization has been a remarkable experience, and the journey to get here has been as remarkable. And so now I've got a good story to share, and I like talking about it, but more so I like talking about how whatever I know or I can help with will help somebody else.
Yes.
That's my main focus, is how do I make that company successful?
Right. And that's what I want to make you successful. This is what we do, we do. So it's, and I think this is something as a human society that we need to do. We need to celebrate people more. We need to be supportive and reach out and support one another. And we know that there's shoot going on in the world. We know that stuff happens, but let us focus on what can come out of it and where it can go, what the possibilities are, what opportunities can be created from it. And if we feed that, water that, then we will really see that grow.
Absolutely. I believe that. Yes.
So let us break down exactly what your package is and what you actually offer your clientele.
So McKenna agencies can be flexible. We will work with companies of service that that I know that I can find business for, and we're looking to pay a small monthly fee to just cover some of the nominal costs, gas, insurance, travel, etc. And then it's basically on a commission basis after that. So that helps you, the client, know that I'm going to be as driven as possible to find opportunities, because that's where the money comes from. Is basically, if you get a sale, then I get commission from it. So it's a motivation that you can see that I'm motivated to continue to work for your company. So you can look at a 6-month contract or a year contract, and I start with 6 months because it takes, there's a process, and there's an engagement, and there's a confidence level that needs to start, and an interaction, and I want people to see me talking about your radio show on a regular basis, so that they know that I'm not just picking and going on. They know that I'm embedded in your company. And then it's less expensive if you pay it out in full. It's less expensive if you go for the year. But I also do individual things. So if you have a trade show and you really want to go, but you know that you can't leave your shop, or you just you can't travel, or whatever it happens to be, then I will go and represent you at your trade show. I will sell and present and offer and give out handouts, whatever is required there. And we will also do single events, like if you have a mail out, or if you have your database that you'd like to be called and have it updated, or send out an offer of some sort, or get some kind of feedback, then we'll do things like that. If it's a day, or if it's an hour, just whatever needs to be done is what we will do for you, and take away the time from you that needs to be to have you do it, and pass it on to us, and we'll take care of it.
So you become their spokesperson, representation of their company.
Yes.
Yeah. So the standard.
I would call and say, I'm Brenda from McKenna Agencies. I'm representing Sara from the Self Discovery Radio. We'd like to, and whatever it happens to be.
Right. And, we all need that. I mean, again, we can't be everywhere, and we can't be everyone. And, this is why having somebody else that can do that. And it's like, oh, this is a great opportunity, but I can't do it. Having somebody else there being your presence means you're not going to miss out on other leads and other opportunities. Yeah, no, it would have been great for me to go. I could have picked up a lot of leads, but I can't leave the business. So now they're not losing that opportunity because you're going there representing for them.
Yes, that's right. And you wouldn't believe how many people say that exact thing for me. Oh, they say, I need you. I need your help. I can't get there. I need to get there. I can't do it. So yes, please come and do that for me. So it seems to be a very successful opportunity. The gap is very large in terms of the amount of people that actually need this service. So I'm growing my business like crazy, trying to keep up with the demand of people that need sales support. So far it's really good.
So it shows that, when you build something, there's always a need for it. And it will grow quickly when people see that need and how it serves them. And, it's, again, as a business, we're not meant to do it all on our own. We need to learn to delegate so we can concentrate. And finding somebody else who's where, that's your passion with your sales. This is my passion. We bring those passions together. Look how we serve the clients.
Yes.
Right. So, and who loses? Nobody. Nobody at all. Yeah. So win-win situations, which we always like to see. And does it bring a sale immediately? Who knows? But what it does do is build up your reputation, build up your presence, build up your profile, so that, I call this the orchard of wisdom here with all the shows that we have in the past. And so somebody may see something that was done a while ago, and they go, I've just found you. And so it's not like an ad or a marketing program that's only for this moment. It becomes something that's part of your library. Right, which is really important.
Absolutely. And that's key, because you can go to a number of different events and there's not an opportunity for one person. You go to something in 6 months and there is an opportunity for that person. Right? You never know when the opportunities are going to present themselves.
Right. Yeah. And we all need that growth. We all need that support, and we all need that somebody there that's got our back.
Yeah. It feels better when someone's there.
You're right. So, from my side of it, obviously people are given a package of what I require for them. I'm a radio blog videos. That means they actually get a blog on the content and on who they are, what they are, their bio and everything else, their own banner. They get the audio, which is on SoundCloud and on Google Play, which they can also embed in their site. And they also get a video. So, they've got these many different ways of representing themselves. So when anybody is doing the package there, this is what I bring to the table on that side. So on your side, they've got the various packages that they can do, but how do people reach you so that they can start talking to you about what suits them?
Yes, absolutely. It's and flexibility. It doesn't, I'm happy to work with other people's, budget, schedule, time, whatever it happens to be. Yeah.
And they get hold of you how?
They can email me, they can call me, they can text me, they can go to the sites. It's pretty straightforward. McKennaAgencies@gmail.com. 250-744-0330 is my cell number, and I'm available on a regular basis.
And the website?
The website is under construction, and it will be up and running by the next week or so.
And the link will be?
I don't know.
Hopefully McKennaAgencies.com.
McKennaAgencies.com is it. Yes.
Yeah, right. Excellent. Yeah. Good. And so folks, just, the personal touch, pick up the phone, drop her an email. And obviously when that link comes up for the website, it will be here on her presence here as well on Self-Discovery Radio, McKenna Agencies. And you will actually see, what she's got to offer and where the synergy is, where the growth is, and just take that burden off of trying to be everything, trying to find everything.
Yeah.
Concentrate on what you do best, right? And then let somebody else do the rest.
Absolutely. Right. Absolutely. It'll make a huge difference to your business life and your personal life.
Right. Excellent. Well, thank you so much, Brenda, for sharing, this, and also for this wonderful collaboration that we have here.
Thank you, Sarah. I think it's wonderful, and I'm pleased to have met you and have the opportunity to speak on your show.
Wonderful. Great. So folks, reach out, and if you need to get hold of me concerning this wonderful partnership here, it's info@selfdiscoveryradio.com, and we're happy to put something together for you because we celebrate you and we want to support your success. So until next time, folks, bye for now. For more wonderful shows like this, please go to selfdiscoveryradio.com, podcasts, and see our lineup. And if you wish to support us, we have a funded button. Please stay tuned for our next show.